Ahead of the game tomorrow, I've only got one message. Bring on the Bengals. Hello, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and welcome to the latest episode of your Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate with me, your host, Britsburgh, Owen, speaking to you here in the UK. Guys, tomorrow, game day tomorrow. It's game day. It's time to take on those Bengals again. We've already beaten them once. We beat them at Paycor, Paul Brown. Welcome to the Bungles Stadium, didn't we? Now, one thing I find alarming is the lack of faith, even amongst some Steeler fans, about tomorrow's game. Why is there a lack of faith? Why? I don't understand you guys. We've already beaten them once this season. This team is getting back to full strength. The offense is arguably better, I know it's controversial, but better than the week one offense. They've never faced Pickett before. They don't know what to expect from him. The offense started to look better against the New Orleans Saints. I've got no doubt in my mind that it will start to even perhaps improve a little bit more tomorrow. Now, bring on the Bengals. Bring them on, guys. I'm not scared of playing the Cincinnati Bengals. This Cincinnati team are not unbeatable. They are not a great team. They are a very, very average team. They're 5-4, guys. They could easily be 5-5 after tomorrow. They are poor reflection of an AFC champion. They're not in the same class as the Buffalo Bills. They're not in the same class as the Miami Dolphins. They are not in the same class as the Kansas City Chiefs. They are not even a top 5 AFC team, in my opinion. There are better teams. I would rate in this order the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Ravens, and also I'd rate up there the Steelers ahead of the Cincinnati Bengals. They're not a top 5 team, guys. They're not a top 5 team. Yes, I know they've got Joe Mixon. Yes, I know they've got Tyler Higgins, T-Boyd, Trey Hendrickson, Jesse Bates, who was running his gob the other day, wasn't he? You know, saying what he was saying about, oh, we kicked your butts twice last season. I don't care, Jesse Bates. We beat you at the start of the season with your so-called unveiling your AFC banner, didn't we? We beat you. And also, if you look at the long-term record, Jesse, we are much better than you. And just remind me of one thing. How many Super Bowls have the Bengals won? How many Super Bowls have you won? Oh, that's right. You haven't. You've choked in all 3 Super Bowls, and we've won 6. 6 out of 8. 6 rings. We've got 6 real Super Bowl rings. You've got Haribo rings. That's it. End of. Shut your mouth, Jesse Bates. Right, guys, why should we be optimistic for tomorrow's game? That's the big question. You know, what have we got in our team that gives us grounds for optimism when it comes to playing against the Bengals tomorrow? Well, guys, the first and the biggest reason is this guy here, Mr. T.J. Watt. TJ Watt is back. Guys, he was fired up against the Saints. He's going to be even more fired up tomorrow. And he hates Joe Burrow and he hates the Bengals. And he is going to want to get after Joe Burrow, get after the Bengals. The Bengals only came back into that game and had any chance to win week 1 when TJ Watt went off the field. You know, and last season in neither game was TJ Watt fully fit. Now he's good. He's good to go. He will be after Joe Burrow. He will be in Joe Burrow's face. He will be taking Joe Burrow down. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing we've got to consider, guys, is the fact that we have TJ Watt back and fit. Not only that, but we have Minkah Fitzpatrick back and fit as well and good to go. We have Terrell Edmonds, who's having a good season. We have DeMonte KZ, who's come in and stepped up superbly. We've got Miles Jack, who has been phenomenal. Larry Ogunjobi, who I think is having a very, very good season and has been, in my opinion, you know, not given the credit he deserves for the season that he is having. Cam Hayward. We have got a defense that is an elite defense, a defense that is getting back to where it was in that first week game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I'm not saying for a minute there's going to be 7 turnovers. Look, there probably won't be. But this defense can hold this Bengals offense to under 20 points. They've got no Jamar Chase. We stopped Joe Mixon week 1. We know how to stop Joe Mixon. Guys, this is not an unwinnable game. Now, add to that, of course, the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers started to establish the run game last week. They started to run the ball, 217 yards on the ground against the New Orleans Saints. And I know the New Orleans Saints have a bad run defense, get that. And I know the Bengals have a better defense than the Saints, get that. But if you actually look at the team, if you actually look at what they did, there was more schemes, there was more clever movement from the line to open holes for Harris, to open holes for Jaylen Warren. Warren and Harris ran superbly last week. Harris ran for 99 yards, averaging 5 yards per carry, and was unlucky, in my opinion, not to get up to 100 yards last week. He broke off that big 35-yard run. Harris is getting back to where he should be, where he was last season. You know that, and those Steeler fans that have doubted Najee Harris, shame on you, shame on you. This guy is getting back to the form that puts him in the place to be one of the best running backs in the AFC. Also, this guy, Mr. George Pickens, guys, go big, go often, go to Pickens. Get him matched up on the likes of Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton, we know Mike Hilton. We know what he's like. He's a rubbish coverage cornerback. He's not a coverage cornerback, is he? That's not how he's going to be used. He's a slot, but he's going to have to play there. Chidobe Awuzie, their best corner, is out. Eli Apple, utter joke. Get George Pickens lined up on those two. Get him to burn them deep. Kenny throws the ball deep to George Pickens. We've got every chance. Add to that, of course, the weapon that is Mr. Pat Freiermuth, one of the best tight ends in the AFC, a guy who's got the potential to be in the same class as Travis Kelce, as George Kittle, the two best tight ends in the NFL. Get this guy going over the middle. It's going to help the run game. It's going to help the Steelers offense big time. Guys, I'm not scared of playing the Bengals. And I don't understand why Steeler fans are scared of playing the Bengals, or why they think the Bengals have got this game won, or why all these so-called experts in the NFL insiders are predicting the Bengals are going to easily win this game. Guys, they're not. They are not. Have some faith in your Pittsburgh Steelers. We have turned the page. We are getting back to our best. Players are coming back to full fitness. TJ is back. Minka is back. Harris is returning to fitness. The offense is starting to improve. It's not perfect. Look, I'm not praising Matt. I'm not saying Matt Canada is the best coordinator in the world. I'm not saying that. It's improving. It's making steps forward. Okay. Kenny Pickett is a rookie. He's still learning. He's learning week on week. But we saw in that second half against the Saints him make steps forward again, making progress. And that's what we need to see. If we continue to see that tomorrow at Acrisure Stadium against the Bengals, then there is no reason why we cannot beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And yes, this video may come back to haunt me tomorrow, and I'll take it. I'll take the black and gold goggles off. But I have every faith in my Pittsburgh Steelers. And I don't understand why any fan would root against their team or want their team to tank. Guys, that's not what it's about. It's about getting in the playoffs. It's about doing the best you possibly can. And this Steeler team is moving back in the right direction. And I don't care if it doesn't fit with your narrative, you Tomlin haters out there. I don't care. It's time to show these Bengals that we run the North and we are the bosses of the AFC North. Guys, let me know what you think. Let me know your comments about tomorrow's game. But all I've got to say is bring on the Bengals. Joe Burrow, TJ is coming to get you. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Here we go, Steelers. Come on!